There, Hammer fam, welcome back to HammeredHead. Today we're looking at the Vintage Collection Grand Inquisitor from Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know this guy kind of got a lot of flack because they didn't really make him look anything like the Inquisitor from Rebels, and he kind of doesn't really look like the Powans from Revenge of the Sith either, so I agree that was a little of a bit of a bizarre choice, but the character in the show was still good, and I generally enjoyed the Kenobi series. So pretty excited to get this guy in the collection. It's a really dope card back image there. It looks super menacing, and I think the figure does look really cool in the box. We get a couple accessories, a lit and unlit lightsabers, which is always a good addition. He's VC293. A few other guys on the back that all look pretty cool. Yeah, so whether you like Kenobi or not, I think we can all appreciate a good action figure when we see one. So let's get him out of there. So there he is. My initial impressions right out of the box, I really like this guy. I think the detail and the coloring and everything about him just looks really, really cool. The head sculpt is pretty on point. I think it looks a lot like the Inquisitor from the show, if not the one from, Rebels, but at least, Kenobi, it's really on point. The armor is like this nice sort of shiny black. And it actually came out really well with those paint apps, and they even got the Inquisitor, or Grand Inquisitor, sort of rank insignia there, which looks great. Some good detailing on the belt. The soft goods cape is really cool. It's a double-sided color, so you got black on the backside and then red, sort of maroonish on the inside. And I think that color really accents him well. The lightsaber fits okay into his left hand. It fits better into his right hand, but it's pretty tough to get in there, and his thumb is really, really thin for some reason. I don't know what it is about Inquisitors, but it's always really hard to get their lightsabers in their hand. Maybe it's just the skill issue. It's probably my fault, but he holds it okay, and he looks really cool with it, so I like it. And then the legs actually are probably the most boring part of the figure. Kind of really nothing going on at all, but I think that's actually accurate for the most part to the character, so no complaints from me. Overall, I think the guy looks dope. And again, it's just the two accessories. We get the lit lightsaber, just pretty basic as far as Inquisitor lightsabers go, but I think it looks pretty solid. And then we get the unlit hilt, which does have two pegs in the back, and it actually pegs in to this guy's sort of like upper back armor. That looks really cool. So, you can walk around menacingly and then do a little reach behind action, grab his blade. Oh! Articulation isn't bad, but there actually is a bit of a disappointing range of motion in the guy. So he's just got a single ball joint head, which moves okay. And then the shoulders are ball joint, but the armor sort of restricts him from going very far up at all with it. And then elbows go a little under 90. He's got a hinge in the wrist, which actually does move very well. And we get a ball waist, which moves okay. And then here we go again with the hips. His sort of armor here really stops a lot of movement. But he does have swivel hips as well. Then ball knees that again go a little less than 90. And hinge in the ankles that go very, very well for the motion there. But yeah, it's pretty disappointing about the shoulders and hips there. But it's okay. I'll get over it. So that's the Grand Inquisitor. Setting aside those articulation, range of motion issues with his shoulders and hips, I really like this figure. I think it's got a great appearance, really good detailing, and great paint apps. So overall, I think they just nailed the Grand Inquisitor from the Kenobi series. I know Kenobi isn't everyone's favorite show. I personally liked it. I didn't like the way they styled the Grand Inquisitor in the show, but the action figure does that version of the Inquisitor great justice. This thing looks just like the guy. and I'm really excited to have him standing up next to the other Inquisitor figures. But let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you to my Patreon subscribers. Be sure to follow on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out the Patreon page, and don't forget, stay hammered.